Hey guys, Robbie here from CrossFit South Bend. Today I'm here with Corinne, who has been doing our Functional Diagnostic Nutrition program for the past few months. Corinne, thank you so much for joining us. Today we're going to talk about Corinne's story. So, Corinne, when you came to see me a few months ago, you were dealing with some health issues. What were those health issues you were dealing with?
Chronic digestive issues, and when I hit 35, I seemed to start porking on the pounds, and I couldn't stop gaining weight, let alone lose some weight. I just didn't look good, and I didn't feel good.
Okay. And when I told you about this way of eating, what did you think about it initially before you started?
Well, I already don't eat dairy because I'm severely lactose intolerant, and I wasn't excited about jumping on the gluten-free bandwagon either, but your simple explanation of eat meat and vegetables made sense, and I thought it can't make me sicker than I already am, so it's worth a try.
Okay. And once you actually gave it a try, how did your views about this way of eating change?
I saw the benefits, quality protein and a healthy vegetable. Like, I had to cook more, but I was putting forth effort for my health, which helped me to not feel deprived. The biggest thing for me wasn't dairy or gluten, it was probably sugar, because sugar is in everything. And I already ate what I considered to be a low sugar diet because I knew I had blood sugar issues. So I was nervous about being able to give it up entirely for the whole 30. But after cutting it out as much as I had to fit the FDN standards, I felt so much better. So I definitely see the benefits, and I see how I was getting dosed with unhealthy food when I thought I was eating right.
Okay. And then one of the main things you were telling me about that was a major positive was you're saying your wardrobe was fitting a lot better and you didn't have to count any calories or carbs or anything like that. Tell us about that.
Well, I've done the calorie counting with my mom, and I'm good with numbers, which was bad for calorie counting because I knew how to cheat the system. So that was ineffective for me. And just eating quality protein and vegetables and doing the workouts at CrossFit, I've been able to drop the weight that before kept adding up. And now I'm actually going the other way, and I didn't have to buy new clothes. I already had clothes from when I quit eating dairy and lost a bunch of weight. So it's just nice to be able to fit into my old clothes again, and I feel like I look how I want to look instead of unhealthy.
Okay. That's fantastic. One of the things we like to ask people is in addition to the weight loss and body composition stuff, has anything else changed, like sleep or mood or energy or, just general overall health? How have those things been going?
I definitely sleep better. A combination of Robbie took me off caffeine and not having all the excess sugar. My mood is so much more level. I notice it when I'm driving. I don't have the stress and the anger. I just feel a lot more even and in control of my mood. What was the rest of the question?
Basically, just any better energy, better digestion, things like that.
I just cleaned out my purse, and I had all my digestive aids in there, like my anti-gas, my antidiarrheals, and I couldn't remember the last time I'd needed them. So I took them out, and I don't have to carry them with me anymore. And I don't have to worry about getting sick somewhere. I don't have to miss things because I feel sick, because I'm eating a healthier diet that doesn't make me sick anymore. What was the rest of the question? Energy and mood?
Yeah, just anything besides weight that you noticed about how you feel.
I also noticed my relationship to food after doing FDN with Robbie. A lot of like the whole 30 principle is not just you cut out these unhealthy foods, but it's perception and your relationship to these unhealthy foods. So the whole being aware of why we want them, when we want them, and how to have healthier ways of dealing with those negative emotions and breaking those unhealthy ties to unhealthy foods has changed my eating habits, and it's changed my life for the better.
Awesome. So I'm thinking back now to when you first started, and I remember with your first couple food journals, there were certain drinks and foods that you thought you could never live without. Tell us about what those were, and then tell us about how you're feeling now about them.
My cashew milk latte in the morning, I was very partial to. And when I was calorie counting, there's really only like 35 calories in my cashew milk latte.
Right.
And Robbie took exception to that very quickly, like maybe after a month or two of us working together. And I had a hard time letting go of that because, in my opinion, it was only 35 or 40 calories, and I really liked it. And what was it hurting? But when I gave it up, I realized that the sugar was, and that's exactly what Robbie said, that it's upsetting your blood sugar levels. You're not doing yourself any favors. Cut it out and see how you feel. And also the coffee was upsetting my stomach. So living without the toffee nut cashew milk latte was hard transition, but I think I've come around the bend, and I am a believer. I definitely see the benefits, whereas I gave him a hard time about that. I really pitched a fit about it.
Yeah, and I have to give Corinne a ton of credit here. She's done a fantastic job, has really, stuck by her goals and been very committed. And I think you've done a fantastic job. So, Corinne, for people who, maybe have similar health issues to the ones that you have, for people who are maybe scared that, hey, I don't know if I could eat this way, what would you say to them?
I would sign up for the longer term with Robbie. I signed up for 6 months, and so he worked with me for almost 3 whole months before we did the official Whole30, to gradually break me into the right eating habit. And even after the 3 months of his coaching, I still was really nervous about doing the Whole30. I was concerned I couldn't stick to it. And now that I've been doing it almost for 60 days, it's a lot easier than it seems. It's a lot of it's a head game. Like, it's just, you make up your mind you're going to eat protein and vegetables, and you prepare. You go to the grocery store, and I purged the kitchen, like get rid of the junk. Whatever my husband wouldn't eat, I just got out of the house. And so if I get a weird craving for it, it's not accessible, and I'm not motivated enough to, like Robbie said in his past videos, put on real clothes and go to the store and buy it. Like, by the time I get around to doing that, the urge is past, and I've saved myself some calories and also some digestive grief.
Awesome, that's fantastic. Well, Corinne, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for telling us your story. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you